Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the second week of ETF2L's Autumn 2024 season, aka season 48. We're getting close to that big 50, getting real close. It is going to be the match tonight between Pepis Pizza Party and Sammakot. I'm Cerny, joined by Samus in production and Beater on the mic. How you doing, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's my birthday actually today, and
happy birthday.
we've got some ETF2L action. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm not sure who I want to win, but I'm sure if I tell them, they'll make my wish come true. But either way, I haven't been watching a whole lot of ETF2L. I think you told me you have not watched much either, so I think this is basically going to be our introduction for the season. And I don't know, week 2 is very often a good time to start to get into the swing of things here. So I'm basically coming from a zero information standpoint. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen here.
I mean, I've got zero information on the teams as well, because neither of these teams played in Prem last season, right? Obviously, none of the players, if we could run down the rosters, but, we're starting. None of the players are, or most of them at least, aren't new to Prem. They've played before, but the teams in these permutations at least have not been in Prem for more than this season so far, and they're getting us started straight away on Sunshine as well, as the teams make their way forward. As the usual mid-fight breaks, a little bit of spamming, a little bit of peeking and prodding. Yak was a little bit faster to the mid as the demo kicks off, but that's never gonna matter, because Tyram is actually going to be the first to fall on the side of Pepis, and that might open things up very much so for sammakot.
The chase is on as well. They want the medic.
Oh my god. Yeah, they take so much ground. They don't get the medic just yet. Eon does get out and will live, probably.
Yeah, very, very crucial there that Ian managed to get out. But that was a really nice play. Tyrion was basically lurking inside of the cafe area, and he just got jumped by Sylves and the scout. Just came in, double teamed him, took him out, and then they had a huge advantage. Just managed to roll that all the way in 2 seconds here. They've got this really nice position. I think Sylves goes down, so maybe they do want to contest this. We do have a lot of picks coming in here.
Okay.
Yeah, auto goes down 95%. That's huge. Absolutely massive hold here. They're gonna move back out here, Pepis. Really great job.
Alright. They just push that. Tyram hits a nice little air shot, nice little juggle combo onto auto, and that's all it takes for them to get back into this immediately. They're gonna take the mid off of it. Probably second as well. They do have that full Uber to work with, although at least everybody on sammakot did get the forward spawn, so they will have some opportunities to contest second, maybe delay a little bit, buy themselves a bit of time, get a force out, which would really save them on last right now. Otherwise, they're going to be holding that last for the time being, and, well, it's not looking good for Sylves. He does escape for the time being, though, and yeah, it's just slowly but surely. Pep is making their way forward, losing a bit of damage. Eon does get popped on eventually, has to force with Sylves in his face, and that is not something you want to see if you're trying to push into second. Huge time bot for sammakot. Not enough for them to, protect second, obviously, but at least they'll be able to hold last much more easily now.
Yeah, everyone got out except Sylves. That was really huge. Like, Core was kind of far forward, but he does manage to sneak his way out. So they're going to have a big Uber ad here on last. A lot of teams do not like pushing on this, but it does kind of look like they're posturing to go in here. See Auto that with that full Uber ad. I think Auto is standing in for seeds. I haven't been able to figure out what the roster was for last week, but they're going to pop in now. See if they can get anything. Nice shot from Sylves. Nice little air shot onto Barnu. Really great job there. Still haven't managed to track down Eon. Eon is out once again. Like, Eon is a real eel, but lots of ground gained here off of that Uber.
I mean, basically bounced it all the way back to mid with an opportunity, well, not anymore, then they're not fast enough, but, an opportunity to at least hold onto it for a little bit as well. Naturally, there's a full Uber. Eon did live. Very slippery at man, currently staying alive wonderfully well, so second should be easy to hold here. Whether or not they actually have to use that Uber is a different story. They do find Sylves early as he bombs in. Lots of damage onto the side of Pepis, but nobody's been cleaned up just yet, and the rest of sammakot have to get out. They didn't get any ground at all in that little push attempt. They just have to get back here. Respect that Uber. Can't really go much more with this, and matter of fact, they're going to give up mid because of it as well.
Yeah, they're definitely going to get it for second, though. This is a really reasonable escape out of here. Just retreat, put up as much spam as you can, just slow everyone down, make sure they can't get in your face too easily. And then you're just going to have a completely normal second hold here with even Ubers. So you set up, get ready for some bomb ins here, and you can take it from here. Pretty standard position right now. I do kind of wonder what they're going to do. I have a soldier standing in a very sneaky spot. Okay, yeah, he is just in.
Alright, double bomb in. Unfortunately, they don't really land on much. They both just get cleaned up immediately. Lots of damage onto Otto, mind you. He did get close to death, but crucially has the balls to not pop, and that bomb didn't accomplish anything, unfortunately, for the side of sammakot. Sorry, for the side of Pepis. So sammakot maybe an opportunity to respond. Black did go down, so I guess that was any sort of counterplay they could have done out of the window immediately as well. But you know what? The worst you could do here is lose a point, and they didn't do that, so they're just gonna reset it back to the little second to mid stalemate, and it's on either team to try and make a move here. Obviously, Pepis are in the attack inside, so they're probably the ones to make the move first. See if they can get away with another double soldier bomb or some other cheeky play. No off classes besides KN snipers so far, which is, you know, notable. Definitely, he's got an angle through flowers already, trying to get something done, but unfortunately he's also been spotted, so he's got to get it done soon. Otherwise, he's not going to be getting much at all.
I am almost certain they've spotted him. Like surely when you spam it like that, you hear the sniper cry out in pain, right? So even if they hadn't seen him, they should have heard him. So I am feeling really confident. So it's just a matter of, can he actually gain an angle here? There's a bit of an awkward position. You can actually, yeah, you can see he gains so much space. It sort of just jumps right in there. Does get Corey down. Uber has come out, and Eon again nowhere near the action. That was actually kind of perfect. The sniper just bought so much space there. Nobody wanted to look into the flank area, and the soldier just walked around the corner. Got a lot of damage. Got the pop out on Otto, who, as we mentioned, was standing in for Siege. We've got Derpy Hooves on Demo Man, Black and Sills on Soldier, SNH on Scout with Corey. And that's sammakot. And then over on Pepper's side, we've got Eon with the full Ubrad. Got Yak on Demo Man, probably going to be jumping in soon if I know Yak. And we've got Tiram and KN on Soldiers, and then Juno and Barnu, the same guy, I'm pretty sure, sounds the same to me, on Scouts.
Well, for now they're winning. They still got that full Uber taken into last, unfortunately for the side of Pepis. Otto's gonna have his own soon as well, so there's gonna be an equal push if they so desire, but they're not even gonna use in. They're just gonna let a Soul Scout Juno trying his damnedest to get in there, does not get out. Yak also getting headshot, trying to back up his scout, and Tiram died in the scrap here, trying to maybe get something on last with the sentry, denying him any ground.
And going for the sneaky one. Actually,
slips in, actually.
Yeah, where's the medic? He's looking for him so badly then, but yeah.
Gets out again. He lives. He gets out.
Wow.
All right, fair enough. He's a secret agent, manages to get everything done he needs to, which is in this case nothing, but live. And that's, you know, what
Speaking
more
of
could you ask
secret
for?
agent, we got Tiram on Spy, sneaking his way in behind the Uns. Like, very, very successful infiltration so far. Oh,
it's been spotted already.
Yeah, I spoke that too soon, I guess. And they say easy in chat.
That's just how it goes, unfortunately. But good try. Certainly good timing to try and maybe make something happen. Nobody was ready for it, but once more, didn't quite work yet. What's up?
All right, Cerny. Imagine, if you will, right? We play MGE. I destroy you 20-0. Would you put easy in chat? Like, that's not how trash talk works, right? Like, it was Tiram that said easy in chat.
It's about the mind games, I guess. You're trying to get into your opponent's head somehow. The reverse psychology. I don't know if that works. I don't know if that's gonna be the case. Maybe he knows for a fact that I don't know which scout it was that shot him. I think it was Corey. Is actually cheating. So you know, maybe perhaps, maybe he just wanted to confirm it. I don't know, right?
I mean,
gonna be all kinds of
I'm
games.
I'm overthinking it. All right, we've got a soldier in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nice speed shot. Actually, the second soldier's going to jump in way later here. The second soldier jump in didn't seem very convincing there, but the first one was pretty nice. Got in pretty deep. But you might see Black come in once again. Actually, it's going to be Silves this time around, jumping in behind. Going to pull everyone back. SN8 is in really deep here. Might force the Uber out. Yep, there we go. Now they just want to chase down Otto. Otto is pretty deep in, but he's got a scout buddy, so he's back out. And I think it's just going to end up with them pushing them out here, but they are one man down.
Yeah, that's going to make it a little bit harder. Otto's getting some pressure put on as well now, but just not enough. Nobody in Pepis can really get close to him. Finally, a little bit of damage, but he still doesn't have to pop. SNH cleans up KN, and still, Otto does not have to pop. He manages to hang on to the Uber for time immemorial, and Pepis just have to keep conceding more and more space. They can't get that Uber out of Otto right now, and it's gonna bite them real bad as sammakot keeps him moving forward, taking second for free as well. Now, perhaps if they move quickly enough, they can very well roll this into last as well. Pepis woefully aware of this. Tyram already trying to maybe buy a little bit of time, but almost paying with his own life. They're gonna have to hold like a miracle here. And maybe just for a few seconds, considering Eon is building like a damn madman as well, trying to get that Uber up as soon as possible. They will have it in time on the defensive side. Now it's just about holding this as so much pressure gets piled on. Sentry cannot be built. Derpy is not letting that happen whatsoever. The pressure comes in. Players are already flooding the point. Traded out Sills for Junu. That's all she wrote for the time being, but any loss on the defensive side is always going to bite you on a last soul. Yak gets arrowed down by Otto, who finally pops his Uber off as well. The Ubers are exchanged on point, but it's already looking mighty fine for the side of sammakot. They didn't have to use quite as much, not flash quite as much, so they're gonna come back in with more players. Perhaps the respawners are enough for Pepis to hold on, though. No, they are not. It's a massacre to clean up the point, and there you go. First round goes away sammakot.
Really strong re-aggression there. Just the fact they had that demo man coming in from the side on the high ground, just lobbing down stiggies onto the point. That's so powerful, you know, and there was a scout just taking up all of the attention at the same time there. They did lose a soldier in the Uber, but yeah, the way they just divided themselves up, got back in, came in from every angle, really well executed there, and that's going to be 1-0 for sammakot. I was honestly expecting Pepis Pizza Party to win this pretty comfortably, but yeah, they're down.
They're down around, they gotta come back into this match, but anything can happen. We still got plenty of time. It's only been about a third of the map time so far, so anything can come back in the favor of Pepis, as this first mid, as well second mid, I guess, is well, taking its sweet time. Nobody dying just yet. P team's just rotating around. We're going clockwise today, actually, as maybe some bombs are gonna change things, but no, it's actually gonna be the soldiers bombing that get taken down first. Matter of fact, and okay, no, there's a nuke. Derpy just hits a massive pipe. It somehow kills like the entire combo, and Pepis just collapses off the back of it. Varda's the only one left trying to salvage this somehow, but you're gonna have a hard time against the beam scout, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was looking really, really nice. They basically suicided everyone in onto Eon, and Eon took like no damage. It was looking so good, and then just the magic pipes out of Derpy, who wins his team that mid fight for sure. A final beam scout's going to be able to get that, and that is pretty optimal survival for if you want to have two players alive. A scout and a medic is basically the best you can have. You can cap fast, you can keep your Uber, and you can go into last with an Uber ad. So this is pretty optimal considering how close that mid fight was.
Yeah, they're running away with it perhaps. Depending on how Pepis can hold this, it's going to be much tougher than the last time, because this time they're not getting an Uber anytime in the near future, so they're gonna have to hold off this full Uber somehow, and they have a level 2 at least, and maybe do something with heavy up as well on side of Arnu, but it's gonna be enough if nobody's even there to protect the point in time. Eon's already dead, they don't have any heals to work with whatsoever. K and Varnu also getting taken down. 3 players versus 4 on the other side. Unfortunately for them though, Otto is the healer, so he can just keep his players in this for a little while longer, and Derpy and SNH are in this for the long haul. The war of attrition is in their favor. It's only Yak trying to hold this point as long as he can. Eon comes up on medic, but it's not going to be enough to hold the point. And that's another round very quickly. sammakot snowballing away with it a little bit.
Eon died instantly on that push. That's really unfortunate. You know, obviously he can't build Uber, but also, you know, when you get respawners, it's going to be your medic. And it's never a good sign when you have your medic running out of spawn. You basically have to go Pyro or something to desperately try and hold, but then you're not building Uber even if you do hold. So very tough situation. 2-0 here for sammakot. They are really looking strong so far. A pretty marginal mid-win turned out to a pretty clean round. That's a good sign for them.
Yeah, we'll see if they can keep up that momentum, or if Pepis can finally find a bit of a response to this, find their way back into this match. They were looking good in the first round for a while, so maybe they can, as the soldiers go bomb and exchange, and once more Black carried out for K, and Silv's bombing Eon, but doesn't quite get the damage cleanup he wants. SNH taken down as well, so for once the mid is actually shaping up in Pepis' favor, and they do have an opportunity to keep it rolling forward as well. Otto does get out though, he does live for the time being. Corey trying to hold off any sort of chasers, does pay with his life in the end, but Otto does escape with his demo in tow, does get back out to last, so they'll probably have an Uber ready sooner rather than later, but Pepis are already laying on the pressure as well. They got second capped up, they're already trying to get into last, a little bit of ground at the very least, but it looks like they'll have to slow their pace now, slow their roll a little bit. But the more they do, the more the chances they give to the defensive side to set up like a sentry as well. Corey's already on that, so the longer they take, the harder it's gonna get.
Soldiers in. shoots himself up those stairs, lands on the Heavy's head. Eventually does get taken down. That was a very cool bomb, and it didn't achieve a whole lot. So I think they're going to have to reset, but they're actually still pushing in here. I kind of like this, just how aggressive they're being. Soda's going to jump in. Scouts are on point.
Oh my god!
The Demo can't keep them off. This pressure is insane.
So much pressure. All off the back of Black dying, by the way. If he hadn't traded basically for KN in that whole scramble, I don't think they would have had a chance to get in this deep on the side of Pepis, but so much cap time, no Uber 7 to be exchanged whatsoever. No stickies on point for long enough either. This is actually looking like a very easy snag if they can just get on point enough. And it looks like they're very well fully aware of it on the other side as well. Sills goes down though to the Uber as it comes in. No use out of auto just yet until now. It's going to be a lot later for the
point is almost capped out.
He has to stand on it. You don't have a choice. You got to stand on that point. There's people all around. Varnu does get cleaned up though. SNH traded out. Eon gets cleaned up as well. They're swarming for this point. Juno cannot do it against 3 players either. It's only Yak left. And even though everybody's low, and auto would be a great kill there, he can't save it himself at like 40 health. So a nice effort indeed, a very valid effort, but it just wasn't quite enough. Will Tyram be able to slip into last and get this cap? No, not before second gets capped off, and they're gonna have to fight back through this the old-fashioned way.
By Derpy, who's there. It's gonna take him down. Nice little DM fight going on. And they're gonna be moving into mid. That last point was like a millisecond off of capping. Kind of a heartbreaker there for them. But now they're being pushed in onto mid. This is looking really rough here so far. It really seems like KN will basically come flying in through a choke, and then he doesn't really achieve that much, and then the resulting pressure, while good, is just not quite enough. That's definitely the pattern I've spotted so far. So we'll see. Maybe KN's gonna get some good stuff out of his bombs, or maybe they're gonna just mix it up and start playing differently. But we'll see. Otto still has a tiny Uber ad. Young, he's got to have his Uber now. There's no real sentry gun to speak of. There's a level 1, but they actually get the Uber Force out now. And there's a chase going on. Actually, they get the Demo Man. That's really good. Is he on shotgun? Am I seeing this? Yeah. KN is on shotgun. I thought that looked weird. Yeah.
That's the strat then. There you go. That's how you know they're trying to switch it up. And you know what? It's been working for them. It's been working for them so far. They got 3 players down, and Tyram couldn't quite chase it. Unfortunately, Corey's gonna have a word with that. The fourth spawners are here as well for the entire team. Sammakot, as second hasn't been capped just yet, but Pepis still managing to at least retake that and equalize things for the time being. As Sylves already comes in with a deep bomb in behind already, wreaking a little bit of havoc before getting cleaned up. Black also cleaned up. No soldiers again for the side of Sammakot. They seem very disposable on that team right now, but they do accomplish a decent chunk every time they do dispose of themselves, so perhaps it's not the worst. Ubers are factually basically equal. Auto gets his a little bit sooner here, and he's gonna have to use as well as he gets forced out effectively. Eon close to his, won't be getting chased down to enough though. They have to settle for the kill onto Yak as Uber finally comes out the side. Pepis as well, and it's gonna be a little bit better. Will they actually find many frags of it though? That's a different story. They find a couple of scouts to clean up, I guess. That's all they can do though. Now they have to.
Oh, Black's in the choke onto the medic, unable to get him. Juno's going to do the same on the other side. So far, both medics are well protected and living. Eon, however, going to put his tail between his legs, run back to last, or at least towards last, meet up with the Demo Man and the Scout. Going to hold on to second here, but neither team really feeling comfortable moving too far out of their comfort zone at this point. They want more respawners to come in here and join them. Auto with the slight Uberad. I'd be very surprised if you can actually push off of this. Sunshine is not a map where you can just get really close to the enemy medic when you push this and pop on the small Uberad. That's more of a Gollywash thing. They do have 20% to work with here, but okay, they're going to give it their best try. Let's see if they can actually do it.
The old college try. Unfortunately, there's a shutter door in the way for the Demo to spam anything, so they're trading this Uber for somehow a frag onto Yak. He gets caught out, I guess, in Flowers. Black manages to get that kill somehow. Now the other side, Eon has his Uber ready. He's going to push it in with all they've got. Unfortunately for them, they're not going to find much of this Uber either. They're chasing it as deep as they can into Cafe.
Sill's behind, and it's almost capped. It's almost capped in second.
It's a disaster. It's a disaster for Pepis. Sills is going to get that cap as well. They're going to have to all come back to get that second back. And he even, well, not he, but SNH picks up Tyram on the way out. So it's not looking great. Not looking great at all for Pepis. I mean, they managed to just equalize it again. The Ubers are also equal. Basically, nothing happened at the end there, but certainly could have gone a lot better for them had they just checked their corners, and also had they not, you know, chased as deep as they did. But oh well, here we are, back to a familiar situation once more. These teams haven't been that stalematey so far. They like to be aggressive, even in situations like this, and we're seeing out of sammakot once more. They're taking so much ground just for free. I don't know if they're being respected too much, but maybe it's gonna bite them as Corey's the first to fall. The Uber comes out of Eon as well, perhaps a little ambitious and early, as Auto responds significantly later, and is just going to get so much ground for free on the second point. Still losing a soldier though, as Black goes down. They clean up everybody else in lobby though, and it is not looking good for Pepis bros. It's not looking good.
It's 5-1 bodies against 3. They're just going to keep on rolling into last. There will be respawners in 6 seconds. There's actually a heavy here coming out of spawn. Juno, he's going to be able to get there in time. He is on the point, but it's not enough. He's too fat and he's too slow, and he might even have been body blocked a little bit there. Really clutch push in there. I think a lot of teams would not have gone for that situation. They're going to just look at the respawners and know that that's an extremely dangerous push, but they went for it here in sammakot. They're up 3-0. So far, Pepis Pizza Party, they have just not been able to find the success they're looking for. It's so difficult. They can't crack this nut.
Yeah, they're having trouble. Whether it's the map, whether it's being outmatched by their opponents at every step of the way, I guess we'll see once the second map rolls around, but they're really struggling on Sunshine right now. They still got just under 10 minutes to try and come back. 3 rounds in 10 minutes is a tall order, but it's possible. But this mid is already not looking all that great for them as Young goes down. I mean, they traded essentially their entire team for it on the side of sammakot. They lost Auto as well, crucially, so I did say it's not looking great. It's actually looking pretty alright for Pepis, all things considered. They win the mid on merit alone, and perhaps can even take it a little bit more into second. Eon will spawn first. Auto's still going to be out of commission for a while, so they're going to have a slight Uber out to work with as well, potentially. And they're going to get second, at least a lot of pressure on it, but I'm surprised that sammakot gave this one up completely for free. They're already pushing out a little bit. They're not getting much cap time more than this, and they're going to have to work for this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that S48 went back there. I thought he'd stay out with Corey and really put on some pressure. And because they didn't do that, they've lost so much positioning, they're actually going to have to give up second. I really feel like they probably could have held on to that, but either way, they're going to end up losing it. The Uber advantage is pretty big here, but picking off Tyrim is really nice. It's going to make this Uber advantage very awkward. Because, you know, if you want to put... Oh, it's a Kritzkrieg. I didn't even see that. They're going to lob in some sneakies. S48 goes down. Sentry Gun goes down. Sylves takes a ton of damage. Will get taken down as well. Got 2 kills off of this. 3 now.
Turns out you don't need your whole team if you're just going to have one guy kill everything with crits. And, well, it might actually just be working out for them. Black the Soul Survivor trying to protect the point. That's not going to work. And Juno going huge on that last push is gonna get them back in the match. All Pepis needed was a little bit of gimmicks, and they're right back in it. Now they just gotta keep it rolling.
Yeah, that Kritzkrieg, absolutely huge. The fat meat shots coming out of the cleanup crew and Junior there at the very end. Good stuff. They have 8 minutes. That's plenty of time to get 2 rounds. And we do actually have golden cap here in the regular season, as much as Dum would like you not to think that's the case, and that's a good idea. But we got some bell tower action. Soldier standing up there. He's gonna just check it out before jumping away.
Yeah, classic. You just gotta... Sometimes you gotta concede it. Eon's the first to fall once more. Will it be an entire trade of sammakot though on the other side? They lose Derpy, they lose SNH. Pick up Varno on the other side though, so it's still looking a lot better for sammakot, even if all of them are bunkered up in flowers right now. They're just picking off anybody who dares point their weapons at them. Kaon trying to go high, but he's already been spotted in the skybox as well, gonna get chased out. Yak getting cleaned up. The point didn't even get capped off yet, and it's looking like a 1 mid for sammakot this time around.
Yeah. Tyrim was thinking about going out onto second to put up some resistance, but yeah, I think he just wants to stay all the way back from when people go through choke. He's not going to get picked off. It's an Uber ad here for Auto, but it's not that significant. If Eon is just careful and doesn't get picked off, that's the first thing in this push that has happened before, then they should be fine. He's on 75%, 80 now. They really need to hurry here if they want to get in before Ian has it. 90% now. I'm pretty damn sure they didn't get in time.
Yeah, they're not going to get in time, but it's also looking bad for Pepis. Remember, they got to take 2 rounds in 6 minutes here, and one of them has to be a coast-to-coast, so I guess opening up with a little frag onto the core is certainly going to buy them a little bit of time. Perhaps enough space as well, and enough valor to try and go out on it, enough bravery perhaps. They gotta send anything they can at this point. They can't really bite their time anymore. Juno Sniper might make a difference here as well, perhaps. It's gotta hit the shots though, you gotta hit the shots. If you're not hitting the shots, then you're not doing anything on that class, and unfortunately, for the setup Pepis, the window is closing for that sniper to do anything. So, they're wasting precious time at this point.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. They even have a sniper. I'm kind of surprised we don't see a heavy coming out here for sammakot. Like, if you just put a heavy up on that high ground on second is so good to just hold. And there we go. They actually take down Yak.
You don't need it. Shutter opens and Yak's head gets clean blown off, and Juno does the same to Derpy though, so it's a demo for a demo, sniper kill for a sniper kill. It doesn't matter, it's an equivalent exchange for the time being. But even then, that favors sammakot. Again, they're sitting on the enemy second right now, they just gotta bite their time. They got 5 minutes and they've won the map. So... yeah,
just twiddle your thumbs, just sit around. Like, what do you guys want to do? Nothing? Cool, let's do that. And see Varner's just baiting people in that door on engineer. Kane's gonna jump out again, see if he can find something. He's gonna see if he can target Black. And Black goes down very weak. Actually might get picked off. Yeah, nice little follow-up kill there by KN. Take the flank as well. Silver's gone down, but oh no. So many players just died. Varner has gone down. He will still have a sentry on that. Oh, please kill KN. Okay. Juno will get picked off. And somehow it's just SN8s. That was just pure chaos. And that push out, I want to say it's a success, but they're not out yet. Like, they were not expecting this. And this is so awkward and weird.
The engineer walking out, just being a menace, a distracting mosquito, somehow allowing Yak to get a sticky in on auto and cleaning that kill up. I mean, it gives them an Uber ad here. It's something they desperately need, and they will have to use it as well to get out here and just buy themselves as much ground as they can. Unfortunately, Yak hits the arch, can't even chase through choke. Might not be the worst, considering he probably would have died anyway, but they gotta keep hitting shots, and unfortunately for them, SNH is currently the one hitting shots. Even if Varner's there to try and clean up the sniper, won't even happen.
My God.
Just denied from doing that. SNH is gonna continue to be a menace here for sammakot, and it's just all crumbling right before our eyes for Pepis, as they cannot physically get out of a second and have to go all the way back to last. Half the team dead already as well. They might hold off a stray soldier here, might be able to get onto Derpy as well, if they so desire, unless Derpy hits some nasty pipes and juggles Tim around like a little bowling ball, although you don't juggle those. Yeah, it's not looking good. sammakot's pushing into last as well. There's no way they failed this, right? I mean, to be fair, there's a heavy up on last. They was very early. I was gonna say there's no way, but then to be fair, there's a heavy. They didn't really get much ground with it. They were early. They didn't have a second soldier. They're gonna win it on this push, perhaps. I mean, they're gonna have to get that Uber out of Eon.
Okay.
They do get it. They do get it. They do get a couple of frags as well, but they lost Yak and Varno again as well, so pushing out is going to be impossible for Pepis, and with 3 minutes left, it's starting to look dire, to say the least.
It's very unfortunate that it's impossible to push out, because they need to push out. And there's not really a whole lot of discussion here to be had. They need to push out. It's very unfortunate for them that SNH just decided to hit a whole lot of stuff, and Sniper just slows down things so much. Tim's gonna go down. That's gonna just complicate things even more. They do have an Uber disad. I see that Sniper dot just hovering around Eon. I'm getting nervous. So far, he's been able to avoid the direct Sniper sight line, but this is always scary, and they're gonna just Uber in immediately here. Hold on to second.
Crush any dream of anybody on that Pepis team right now of even just getting another round on the board. They have their own Uber to respond with at the very least, and even if they kill the whole team with this, I doubt it will matter at all. I mean, they're killing people. They're sure they're getting some frags.
Auto wins the 1v1 against Juno.
Alright, you gotta respect that. Will he get chased by Yak? Will Yak manage to get this one, or will he beef? Does he get this medic kill?
Oh my God, Auto's sick.
He does not. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. Yeah, I think it's GG's at this point. I mean, it's possible. I guess if they moved insanely fast now and just defied the laws of physics somehow, but I don't think it's happening.
No, Auto just flexed on him. It's over. There's no way. If you can't even kill the enemy medic, right, on 1v2, or what are you doing? There's no way. Absolutely not. They're gonna take a big fight here in mid, because of course you are. And so far, it looks like they're just slowly getting edged out here. Pepis going down. They're three dead. So far, that's going to be that. We might see a last cap here. We might not. It is over, though. Make no mistake about it. Okay, Yak. Being jumped. Someone hitting a ton of damage, but unfortunately for him, not getting any kills. Alright, KN. Time to hit 8 air shots. You're going to need them, buddy.
It's all you've got, man. Get on that airstrike or something, build up some ammo real quick, and have time of your life. Unfortunately, you can't really kill people who are shiny and they're standing on the points, so it's gonna be quite tough. Quite tough indeed. Even if they get a couple of frags, they'll SMH black hole down. Alright, hey, look, that's something. That's something. At least. Look, they're holding this one. They're holding this one.
That counts as an airstrike. Hey, yeah, he got two. He got two. They're small, but...
And
oh, that's a third.
Alright.
Yeah. This all count. He got him. He held it. Well done.
Look at that. See, they didn't lose terribly. I mean, at the end of the day, 3-1 isn't a decisive, absolutely dominant steamroll type victory, right? Obviously, sammakot were looking a lot better on this map, but there's still something there. There's some nuggets there for Pepis. They had a quick responsive round with the Chris Creek. Makes you think what would have happened if they decided to maybe try that out sooner.
Yeah.
For the time being, that's all they got.
Yeah, there were a bunch of back and forth action. It just kind of seemed like sammakot would consistently getting the upper hand and just riding the momentum into last really, really well. Got to give it up for them. They played extremely well. I was kind of just looking at the rosters and looking at the last week's results. I was just thinking that the Pepis were going to win. But so far, absolutely not the case. Let's take a look at some logs here. Let's see if we can glean anything interesting. Can we learn something? How much damage did KN do with the shotgun? 35. That's worth it every time. Great weapon.
It's a rarity, man. When's the last time we saw a soldier using a shotgun?
Yeah, no, it's so rare that people, even on last hold, it was the last hold where they pushed out, so it makes some sense, right? It's not like just a mean thing. It kind of makes sense when you're not jumping around a whole lot on last and just have some extra firepower. But then, of course, once you move out, then you're really inactive. You kind of sit back, can't participate in a lot of fights in the same way. But either way, Ken did actually top damage, and then we got Corey, really high damage as well, 289 DPM on Scout, on Sunshine. That's pretty rare to actually see, and then you got the heavy, the demos under that. Do we have some weird outliers here? Otto has 2 kills and 5 deaths. That's really good.
Yeah. Although, you know, Ion only dying 7 times as well in comparison, that's not a massive difference.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's still, like, considering how hardly they got beat, that's actually not that bad. That's still... You can't be mad at your med in this one. I think Ion tried everything he could to keep his team alive, given the circumstances that they found themselves in a lot of the time. I think this is just... Especially looking at the scouts, like Corey and SNH. I mean, Juno put up a decent fight, obviously also up there on the kills front, right? But I think it's just in general, the DM difference, I think, made a lot of this. The scouts were wreaking havoc on that sammakot team. They were just free to roam as much as they possibly could have. And, you know, shutting down any attempts that KN and Tyrim were trying to do. And just never really worked out for them.
Yeah, it didn't seem quite perfectly synchronized either. Like, I kind of feel like maybe the best stat here is that they had 2,500 more damage on sammakot, but they had 95 kills to 78. Like that's a pretty significant difference. Like that little damage shouldn't result in that many kills. So that does suggest that you have better team coordination when that happens. But
much better focus and cleanup, yeah.
But yeah, like mid fights 2 to 3, charges 13 to 12 with 1 drop. That was the one difference. That was on auto, and then a few less deaths. So pretty damn even map overall. Even though it really felt like sammakot was in control. They never felt like they were behind, so to speak. Like it was always kind of fine. They put out all the fires that they needed to put out.
Yeah. I think it's just the frag difference. I think that's just like what illustrates it best. Yeah, like the better focus, better coordination out of sammakot. At least on Sunshine could always be a different story On Process. It's a map that, despite being a little similar, it does play differently and has its own, its own little quirks to it. So there's always a chance that perhaps Pepis is going to have a better time on this one, right? Always a chance that one of the maps just doesn't suit you all that well. Maybe this one will make a difference. I guess we'll have to see if this is their chance to come back into this match.
We saw KN do a lot of creative jumps on Sunshine where he would eventually end up on the staircase and fly into the stratosphere. Well, in Process, he doesn't have to be creative. You can just jump through the choke and you get the same result. All right, so maybe that's going to make it easier for him. Maybe it's not going to make a difference when you're hitting the jumps anyway. But yeah, Process is very well known for being a really good suicide map where you can just bomb in over and over again and send 2 soldiers, that kind of stuff. And I did think we had some pretty decent results there, but it almost felt to me like the Pepis tactics looked like they were made for Process almost. So I wouldn't be surprised if all their like little set plays work better, because Sunshine is a difficult map to execute that on. Like you can't just jump in 2 soldiers on Sunshine the same way that you can on Process. So that's going to be my my bold prediction that actually Pepis. They're going to have much more success with that, and maybe they're going to win. I'm going to say 3-1.
All right, you're just flipping the script on him. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I am interested, given that we've got some cheeky strats coming out with the crit streak out of Pepis once, right? Do you reckon at any point, honestly, throughout the entire season, even we're going to see a heavy to mid with the stake, or somebody using the base jumper to throw you off a little bit when trying to do a bomb or something like that?
Yeah, I think we're gonna see it for sure. Like, I think like the base jumper, surely that's gonna be like on some weird last push. We've seen man-threat bombs before. I could see the parachute doing very similar things, where you just jump up really high and then you just float around up there, reload, and then you dive bomb on the enemy medic. I think you could do something like that, because you can jump in 2 soldiers at a time, so you don't eat the same spam in the same way, and then you can still sync up because one of you can stay in the air for a really long time. So I think there's some potential for some neat little plays. I don't think we're gonna see like a stable thing. I would be surprised if we saw it on mid. Like it's almost best on demo, man. I feel like, but you lose so much with the pipes. So yeah, that would also be like a suicide play thing.
Maybe on cough. Maybe on cough.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for those sack waves.
Yeah,
yeah, but like stake to mid, that it makes some sense to me on Sunshine, because you can run out through the cafe and then jump up the house and kind of hang out there. But on Process, I don't know where you'd go, man. It's just dog shit.
You're a sitting duck. You're a sitting duck, bro. Maybe somehow through sewer you can sneak up if you're sneaky enough, but it won't matter because neither team is doing it in this first mid fight on Process. They're going to be taking it away the classical way, and Derpy, unfortunately, just was a sitting duck. Too fast to the mid fight for once is a problem in this case, as the soldiers were feasting for that one. Even if Tyram does die, it's a 1 mid off the back of that for Pepis, and they like to see that. They like to go into the second map with some momentum straight off the bat, have a little bit of something to take them into this swinging. They just got to keep it going. They just got to keep it up as they try to head into second. Obviously, with nobody else dying, though, it's going to be a pretty even situation. Both medics have their Ubers, both teams have everybody respawn. Tyram decides to pick up the sniper rifle. I think that's the 3rd player now on Pepis trying their luck on the sniper rifle, so we'll see how well it goes for him.
It's actually kind of unusual to see you switch off a soldier for sniper, just because usually you could you can jump in 2 soldiers and then you can also snipe with the sniper. That's a lot of distraction, and there's a pretty decent chance you'll get a pick of some kind. But you can't do that when you have a soldier switching off to sniper. So maybe you're gonna have to sneak in a scout instead. But we'll see. They're just all of them just stacked around this sewer area.
Okay. Sills eats a body shot. Unfortunately, it's not enough to kill him though, and he'll just escape for now.
Oh my god,
you know what? Oh, okay. Look, how does he get away with that?
I'm pretty sure that scout just saved his medic by putting his head in front of him.
Get down, Mr. President. It actually worked out. They tried AN for Sylves as well, so it's not really all that bad for Pepis to lose a player there, considering they found one in response. And, well, Tyram has proven that he can at least hit a shot every once in a while if given the angle, and they gave him a very good one there on the side of sammakot. They probably won't let that mistake happen again. They got away by a grazed bullet and a little bit of overheal. Unfortunately for Pepis now, though, Yak has died, as the Uber just came through choke and, well, Jan manages to at least surf the mid-shots away before using his own Uber and leaving a scout to potentially almost die. They do find auto, so that's actually a pretty good pickup with this counter Uber. Now they just gotta hang on to whatever they can here as they try to get into second. They gotta remember they still have that sniper in the fight as well, and oh, it's all falling apart. Yeah, Juno beef and Eon goes down, Tyram gets picked up as well, and it's falling apart completely.
And Yak is in deep, like he was just in here. He could get taken down. Yeah,
Okay.
He's gonna trade with SNH. That's not worth it here for Yak at all.
That's better than dying without killing him.
I will agree with that, yeah. I feel like we're both correct here. Yeah,
You gotta see from the utilitarian view, you know? It could have been worse, he could have fed without killing anybody, so at the very least he got that kill.
Could have been worse, but it could also not be worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, they're trying to hang on to this. Yep, Akian's already dead. Auto, lots of damage though. Tyram trying his absolute damnedest there to get that medic down. Unfortunately though, it's not gonna happen. No, both soldiers effectively sacked. For a medic that didn't want to die, they have an Uber ad as well for auto, so they really desperately want to get that medic frag, or at the very, very least an early force, which wasn't going to be in the cards considering the aggression we're seeing out of sammakot.
Capturing second though, they spent so much time chasing here. I'm not sure they're going to get much out of it.
Yeah, an early Uber into last as well. They finally cap second, take the beam off the scout, see how much cap time they can get. About half the point before the Uber fades, but now they got to hang on to everything else here. And you know what? They just so do, because nobody from Pepis can make it out of the spawn door.
Yeah. Like, they actually got Yak really early on. I thought Yak would just hide and spawn because there was no pressure on last, but yeah, he didn't get in there in time. So that really turned it around, made it so much better than I thought it would be. And once again, sammakot in a commanding position here, 1-0 already. Let's see if oh, Yak is playing it smart. He's messing up his rollout, so he's slow. Look at that. That's so clever.
So he won't have the same fate befall him that befell Derpy in the first round, and well, it looks like Derpy's learned as well and decided to rotate sides and be a little bit slower anyway, so it's gonna be just like that, a bit of a slow start as both soldiers immediately get onto the Pepis combo, do a shitload of damage to everybody there, but Eon somehow miraculously lives, even though everybody around him just exploded into giblets, and you know what, they find a couple of frags on the other side, so it's actually still more or less even in this fight. A scout and a demo on the beam on either side, and Juno trying his damnedest alone on mid, basically fighting off whatever aggression sammakot can throw at them. Unfortunately for Pepis, they do lose the mid fight in the end of it, but they hang on to Eon, they hang on to everything they got. They also got Varnu picking up the knife and a cloak, so perhaps a cheeky spy play is in the cards.
He just picked up an ammo kit.
SNH didn't notice, didn't see the ammo pack get picked up, so Varnu in prime position for a beautiful backstab, perhaps.
He's running out of time. He does have cloak and dagger. It's gonna run out.
Yeah, the faster you move it, the better. Oh, he's been spotted already.
Type easy in chat. Do it. Do it.
Nah, it's not Tyram. Tyram would, Varnu wouldn't. That's not how it works. Unfortunately, the side of Pepis, they had to deal with SNH now, counter-sacking off the back of that. Not much happened with it, but you know, you gotta worry about that as well. And the soldiers are still in play for either side here, so you always expect a soldier just jump in your face in that little choke. It happens more than you'd like to admit sometimes.
It is very common. All right, KN's gonna go into the skybox, do a sync bomb, do another. Okay, he missed up the second thing. I'm not sure what the point of any of that was. I think he's just.
I don't know. I don't know why you would, but
yeah, he's building. Definitely. Yeah,
it's
I
all
like that.
just practice.
Yeah, I think it was just hoping to catch someone with a random sync. You know, like, and when someone just happens to jump through the choke or whatever, you can just land on them.
See a little mirror strat here with SNH picking up the rifle now for the offensive side of sammakot here in the sewer once more. We'll see how well it goes for them. They already find a frag onto Corey on the other side, so the sniper play is already not going well. Tyram slips in behind as well as Black gets cleaned up, and well, they actually did use their Uber for it though, so I guess it was a bit of a force out of Eon. Counter Uber comes out as well. They do find SNH, trade him out for Tyram, so they're still up on the frags. They'll be able to just keep this rolling forward. The Uber didn't accomplish anything for sammakot except get the remaining players back to second, well, somewhat safely. And Pepis looking like they have a prime chance here to actually keep this momentum going forward.
They're not stopping. They're going to keep on moving. Silves gets spammed out. Looks like everyone is just back on their own last. Yeah, really, really good pressure here coming up from Pepis. Getting a lot of good space here. They've got 10% ad-ish, maybe a little bit more. It is pushable. Process last, you can do this. You can kind of walk all the way in if you just take the chance on these doorways and then before you pop. And then you just kind of pop when you're halfway in. But KN is already deep. He is wanting, just screaming at the rest of the team to get in there. We'll end up trading for a sentry gun. Not really the best trade here, and they're going to end up not pushing on it. Yeah, it was a very fickle Uber advantage, and they're going to end up not getting anything out of it. I don't hate the pressure that was put on there, because if they get a pick, they can just Uber in and maybe have a chance. But
I mean, they still did kill Black, so that buys themselves an opportunity here, perhaps. SNH gets taken down as well with the sentry gun. This could actually be all they wanted. That frag is all they could have wanted, and that is exactly all they wanted. They Uber immediately, but Corey's taken out on the point immediately. The Uber can't quite reach that heavy in time. That's a huge pickup for this post-Uber as the Uber's fate. Now, this fight will so surely go Pepis' way unless they mess it up royally. So much captain already as well. They find Auto, no heals now for the defensive side. SNH taken down again as he walks out of spawn, and nobody else left to defend Black, the sole survivor, as he was picking up a pack in lobby, thinking he'd have a little bit more time, but nope. The collapse was beautiful, and Pepis pick up a round and make it equal.
yeah, that was clean. They lost 0 players on that push. That doesn't get any better than that. It was just, yeah, really great split, as you said, and then great focus fire, great point pressure. It all just came together with like also just the fact that they picked off the heavy before the Uber came in. That would have been such a headache to waste a bunch of ammo on that, and then Uber comes out, and then you have to do it again. And Black's gonna be aggressive, but he gets punished this time around. KN and Yak just team up, immediately take him down, and they're just not even gonna bother with this mid. They're out.
All in all, Pepis have had these mids on control right now. Even if it's just winning off of a single pick, maybe it's, you know, sammakot being very conservative with their mids if they lose someone early, but the aggression out of Pepis and this immediate aggression out of both soldiers here as well, trying to get in. They actually managed to get a kill to Sills with the cleanup out of Arnu. Before that, Scout also has to pay with their life, but you know, that's how it be sometimes. That's how it goes. At the end of the day, they still hanging on to this as best they can. Yak gets cleaned up though, and the tides have turned for Pepis. They have to back out. They hang on to the Uber, but they were perhaps a bit too ambitious, trying to take us into second immediately.
Yeah, Auto got the sick air shot, right? That's all that matters, really. As they're gonna go in very aggressive here.
Okay.
Corey is just bouncing in choke here. Can the medikit out? Okay, yeah, he can, but everyone's in the skybox. Look at this. K is so high, and somehow it does get out. Sil's gonna get picked off here. Juju will die as well. Now they're going in here. KN surely's gonna die. Yeah, eventually will catch a pipe. Soda was in behind. Gonna jump in now. Just spring the trap. Oh my god. Can Auto survive? Yeah, okay. Auto is still just refusing to die. He's just too angry to die. But Varnu, he needs to fight this Demo Man. Demo Man versus Scout is the scariest fight you can ever take. Even though you have like a full medic just tank. It's so difficult. But this soldier gets denied so hard. Tyrion unable to get in here. Finally, Demo Man goes down, but I think the ship has sailed. I don't think you're ever getting onto Auto at this point.
It's just a game of trades. Players trading left and right, getting fragged within mere milliseconds of one another, and it's keeping Pepis in this. I mean, they're keeping up the pressure. They know they've got the players to back this up as well, and as long as they can win their fights, which Yak unfortunately doesn't, as Corey just runs him down, an absolute train is stopping that Demo from moving forward any further, and that basically stunts any push they could have done as Tyrum tries his damnedest to get a force out of Auto, and he does. That is exactly what they needed here. A little bit of a later Uber out of Eon, obviously, but not much to accomplish with it either. They do find Auto after the Uber's fate, though. They find Corey and Derpy as well. It's only SNH, and he gets cleaned up, and there you go. That's what they needed.
Yeah, really, really great flank there coming up from Tyrion. They're doing so much work. Like, just distracting people, doing a ton of damage, and then coming in for the cleanup as well. Really good stuff. And then because he's a roamer, he also died. Perfect play if you ask me. Can't ask for any more from your roamer. They're gonna have an Uber ad here. They're gonna have about 50 to 40% ad going into last. That's much more usable than what we saw before. But you kind of do want to peek before just to take down the sentry gun, but I don't think they're gonna have the time. Yeah, they're just gonna have to pop in here.
Yeah, it's so far back as well, but maybe you don't have to. Maybe if you can just get some ground, get it early anyway, which they do decently quickly enough. They just gotta get on that point now and actually get some cap time, bait some people out, and start picking them off. Unfortunately for them, okay, no auto is gonna get killed, so no Uber for the defensive side either. This could be easy pickings for Pepis, even if they lose everyone right now. They're gonna have another opportunity to push right back in just as easily, so long as they manage to hang on to second in the tail end of this. And sammakot, with half their team dead, are certainly not looking keen on pushing out to second either. And Black will obviously try to maybe grab a little bit of ground, be a little bit of a forward scouting position, but there's not much you can do against the whole team coming in. And yeah, Pepis, is the faster they move it, the better of a chance they have to actually get back in once more. The ad isn't as big this time, but as long as they move quickly, they have an opportunity once more to finish what they started in the first push. They didn't get it as cleanly, but they have a second opportunity.
Yeah, it's basically a mulligan. Let's try that one again. See what happens here. Do we have a different setup? Yeah, sentry gun is on the opposite side, and they're going to go into a different door as well, close to the sentry gun. That's actually a good thing. They can just take that down really, really quickly and put pressure onto this heavy. He's unhealed and will get taken down.
Yeah, they find Sills as well in the trade. Unfortunately, they lose everybody on their side as well. It's only Eon and KN. KN, they're doing absolute damnedest, doing so much. Killing so many people on the point. Eon picking up a frag onto Corey as well. But again, it's just not enough. And crucially, this time Auto lives. So there's going to be a fat Uber ad out of sammakot. Unless, somehow, someway, we see an insane bomb out of KN. You know he wants to. You know he wants to so badly. Oh, he messes up the ramp slide. Tyram tries his best instead. You get the Uber out of auto, I guess, expecting more people in choke, I guess, but they're not going to chase much with it. They do find Varnu, and that's about it. Tyram gets cleaned up as well, due to self-damage, but that's all the Uber wrote. Only 2 frags. It's not enough to set Pepis back too far. Even if they have to give up mid for the time being, they're going to be right back in this.
Good bouncing by KN in the choke there. Might still pick off a soldier here. They're moving in very aggressively through choke here. sammakot refusing to slow down this game. They've run a scout in behind lines. I think they know. Yeah, and actually a nice rocket there from KN. Gonna end up taking down 2 players in the back lines.
Yeah, got forced anyway, so that Uber isn't gonna accomplish anything. Auto's now up 60% again, and they have to get onto that medic as soon as possible if they want to keep themselves in this. Otherwise, this midpoint is going to be conceded once more. The least they can do is cap it, to buy themselves a little bit of extra time.
And look where Auto is placed. He wants to pop in here.
So bad.
Yeah. I can take down Varnu without having the medic there. But again, just the counter aggression here is so strong. The Devilman's actually just deep. He's in. Derpy Hooves unwilling to give this up. They are just pressuring them out really aggressively here, and they are going to end up going out. I think Yak's going to survive this, but it's going to be pretty close. Actually, never mind. He is so weak. He's stickied off. Will get taken down 100% on auto. They have about a 30 Uber percentage advantage, and they're going to use that now.
Catching them with their pants down. There's almost no defense mounted. A Soul Juno heavy, a level 1 sentry out of Varnu is all they got. That and a dream. 2 players down, KN now spawning, but there goes the heavy. And somehow, some way, it is enough. They find the crucial frags they need to, especially Derpy going down. No scouts either to pressure the point, so just a couple of soldiers escorting out their medic is enough for them to hold on. Eon didn't even have an Uber to use yet, so he's going to have one now to try and get back out with. But not only do I have to retake the second, as everybody got forward spawns on the enemy side, you also have the sniper to deal with once more. SNH, a bit of a menace on that sniper so far, has been hitting shots, and yep, KN is immediately feeling it in his body. And Tyram, in the meantime, gets picked off as well, as the Uber tries to actually come through IT and finds virtually nothing. Let's be honest here. It found absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it was pressing when you're 1 man down, even if your opponent has... Okay, we got a classic Yak bomb here. Got nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, they're just full sending it here. All of them are in, all of them are dead. Eon is the exception, he is the medic, he is out. I do understand that, but he was not building throughout all of that. He would not have had an Uber either way, but I don't know. If he dies with like 10% down, then you can blame this. Already sammakot, they're in here and last. They're in so deep. They still haven't popped it. They got a scout on the point being healed. Okay, finally they get in here. Sills will get dropped from the Uber, but they're just switching the Uber on and off right now. And they've got so much time on it. Medic is actually going to sack himself here just to pressure. And they've spread out. Derby Hooves is behind. Soldiers on front. Scouts on the side. Is this going to be enough though? No.
Oh.
The heals come out strong. The last ult here from KN is going to be just enough. And Sills is all the way back with his own medic. So another clutch last hold here.
Gotta give it to Yak and KN there, doing a phenomenal job holding people off the point. It takes a lot of self-control to not jump onto the point yourself when it's this close to being capped, to try and block it, and just trust in your demo and soldier to have it handled, and just the pure projection of power, keeping sammakot players off that point for long enough to buy them enough time, get them out of position, kill them. And now, I mean, the forward fight, they're still winning on numbers, even if they trade both scouts for it, which is going to slow them down a little bit on the side of Pepis. They still have a full Uber to work with. Worst case, they got to use it to get into mid here. Ideally, they wouldn't want to.
Like, Eon is so weak. That's the most nerve-wracking thing. Walking through, like, random demo spam when your medic is on, like, 70 HP. It's so easy to drop in that situation. They're going to end up not doing that. Soldier jumps in very aggressively here. Black and Sills, they are in deep. Going to get the Uber Force out. Are they going to get re-aggressed on? Otto is... he kind of had a soldier in his face, but they're going to end up just popping here instead. Demo Man's hiding in the corner. Look at that. He's going to come from behind now. Oh, he's been spotted. Okay.
You gotta respect the attempt. Unfortunately, Yak is gonna pay with his life, and now Varnu has to somehow escort Eon out of here, and somehow both of them escape for the time being. Actually, I'm very surprised that they're both still alive.
Yeah, they split up and both survive. Yeah, I guess that exit made sense for both of them. One of the rare times where splitting up might have been worth it. Usually, you just want to stick with your scout and run out. But they're still not out of trouble. I think we're gonna see a bunch of pressure here. Scouting one, resting through lobby, coming in through the different sides, see if they can spam down some sentries, maybe get the jump in if anyone's holding too close. Sentry has gone down, and let's see if they actually want to push on this. Eon does have the Uber. I think they just want to get him to give that one up, and Corey has gone down, so now it's going to be a full-on retreat. This soldier not going to be able to get out of here, and it's a 6-on-4. This is a pretty sketchy hold here, especially with Auto on top of the point.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta respect the aggression out of sammakot, but it's ended up biting them a little bit as they now do not have the opportunity to get into last, and they're gonna trade Ubers on second instead. Unfortunately, though, a back cap is here, and Black just gets so much time for free, even winning a frag in the meantime, and this turns the tides completely. There's so many players dead as well for Pepis. They find Derpy at the very least, but Eon goes down, Yak goes down as well, and the Soul Scout isn't gonna hold off 4 players. That's just not gonna happen. So finally, in the most long-winded and weird last push that actually starts with an Uber on second, sammakot takes a second round.
It was the punish of a punish of a punish, it feels like. It was so back and forth, and eventually just Pepis overextended just a little bit too much, lost a few too many players, and then got pushed all the way back into last, and they were unable to recover in time. Yeah, it's one of those very dynamic situations where it's not really a last hold. It feels like it's more just a continuous fight that happened over the space of 2 separate points. But either way, sammakot, once again, they're going to be in the lead, up 2-1, but it feels closer this time around. We have a heavy to mid. I didn't even see if he used the ham. I assume he did, but I actually missed it. Okay, but now he's just standing on low ground. I don't get this. If they're going to win this, I'm going to be so pissed because I'm
the sniper as well. Don't forget about that. Terror's up on the sniper too. Full gimmicks are in swing, and you know what? It's working. Sills is the first to fall to the gimmicks, so perhaps this is what they needed. Just catch them off guard, see what you can do. The second soldier goes down as well, with Black getting cleanly picked up here. And that Varnu heavy is putting down the pain. Unfortunately, against the scout that's on the beam, you're actually, unironically, having a hard time. Finally gets that kill, but Auto in the meantime gets forced. Gets forced. He kills two people, but it doesn't matter because he got forced. I don't even know, man.
Varnu's, he's mad, but he is playing heavy, so his brain cells aren't fully activated. It's fine. It's, Eon is going to have a big Ubrad. He needs some respawners, though, in order to be able to make use of it. S48 is actually on engineer on last, so they are expecting to lose this second point. And you know, if Pepis are not careful, they could just Uber in blindly, and everyone's just going to be gone. There's going to be nothing on second for them. But that's, fortunately for them, is not the plan that they went with. They are just going to walk in here. Going to eat some spam, but still, well, they weren't quite fast enough. Auto is going to have this Uber here on last. So, bit of an opportunity lost, but they didn't blow anything either. So we'll call it even.
Yeah, well, they have an opportunity now to equalize the rounds again, even if it is against an equal Uber's last push, and they're just gonna send it, actually. They don't even need to for this. They decided, screw that guy, we don't want him, as the way better Uber comes out of the defending side with Auto popping a lot later, and the core of the team has just immediately perished, with Yak and Eon getting stuck in a door on the way out, overstaying their welcome ever so slightly, and now being severely punished for their insolence as God has struck them down, and they now have to resolve themselves to maybe somehow sending a sack onto Auto, or, well, going all the way back to at least your own second.
Yeah, Ken was trying to wall bug up in the skybox there. That's actually a fun fact. After the experimental cop, they've banned people from doing that again. You will get banned. Don't look it up, just trust me. So either way, we're moving in here onto mid. Oh, nice shot to Juno. Juno's gonna have to get out of there. He was being very aggressive. Oh, we've got a classic in spawn. All right.
Interesting. All right.
I've seen
the
it all.
Spy as well. They're just trying anything at this point. They're getting a little desperate, maybe. Times are getting dire for Pepis, but Kane's on the Spy, hiding in sewer, seeing if something perhaps can materialize out of this play. Certainly has to move soon. He's already decloaked. He's ready to pretend, and you know what? He's doing an okay job at it as well. He does get healed, man. If it gets the beam, unfortunately, he can't get the stab though. Auto gets the force though. The gun is enough to force the medic, and he even gets out with his life intact as the counter Uber gets used out of Eon, and they find absolutely nothing with it, by the way.
Auto survives on 15 HP once again. All right, Black just randomly died there. Just jumped in front of Juno's gun and died. That looked pretty funny from his point of view. Either way, they could pressure in here, Pepis, if they wanted to. There's still 6 minutes left in this game. They're 1 point down. This makes a lot of sense to me. And they are going to be pushing in here. It's a fight for the high ground right now. And either team, it looks like it's actually been ceded to Pepis right now, but I suspect Scouts and Soldiers will be jumping up there continuously, but Derby who's going down, that's going to change things. You now no longer have those stickies to control the high ground, and you basically have to retreat.
And they have to keep retreating as well. They get more high ground to defend by themselves here as Corey and SNH try to unleash their anger once more, but it doesn't matter because KN just slips right in there. Nice little rocket to clean up Auto with, who was on 98%, by the way, in case anybody in chat was wondering. And yeah, it turns out a soldier doesn't have to jump every time. You can kind of just waddle and shoot people, and it also works. And now there's a last push out of Pepis that is already going horribly wrong, as they've lost 2. They found Black at the very least, but the Ubers have faded, and now they have to slowly but surely concede some more ground. Yak walks on the point, but obviously with 4 people shooting, yeah, that's not going to go well. And yeah, that last push didn't really amount to anything. It didn't materialize at all.
SNA's got a really clutch pick there with the sniper. You know, he picked off a soldier that was out of the Uber, just not being flat at that very moment. Got a sneaky soldier there. He's gonna take down SNA's Tyram, just hiding like a goblin in sewers. Actually, it was in PC. Sorry, goblins just live in sewers. Never mind. I'm confused. Okay. Vaughn is going to go down as well. This is actually looking pretty dicey. I don't think they're going to be able to hold on to second if they get pushed too hard here. They might just pop to hold on to it, just so you don't get pushed all the way back into last. But yeah, the pressure's not really out yet, though, so they're going to be fine.
Now, you say that there is a bit of aggression onto Auto, as KN once more is the playmaker, the person of Pepis trying to absolute damage to put the team on their back end. He's doing a wonderful job getting that force out of Auto.
Oh my
as the counter Uber comes in. Big bomb by Yak. Unfortunately, he does 0 damage during it, and everybody else of Pepis dies on the flank as SNH and Sylv's flank behind, and now it's just Juno left alive in sewer, and they're woefully aware of that scout's whereabouts, so yeah, this turned for the worse very, very quickly. I mean, Juno's still alive somehow, managed to escape for the time being, but you're not gonna do much behind like this. It's just not happening. You're just in an awful position now. You're basically out of the last fight as there's a bit of a hold. They're trying to mount here, and for the time being, at the very least, they're putting on a bit of pressure, but not enough on the point. Yeah, they put pressure somewhere, but not on the point.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I think they all just assumed Varney was he's gonna headshot him or something. It just seems like no one was willing to get on it. So there we go. It's gonna be 3-1 once again for sammakot with 2.5 minutes remaining. This is kind of a repeat of last map, but at the same time, it feels closer this time around, I will say. But still, the situation is looking excellent for sammakot here to get the full 6 points.
Pepis were in the mix for a while, and I mean, they still have a chance to bring back 2 rounds, get themselves a point taken away, at least with the golden cap, right? But they gotta pick up the pace if they really want to make that happen, and they just haven't looked like they have that pace just yet. They find plays, they find picks every once in a while, but it never surmounts the hill that is before them, which is the rest of the team. 3 picks on this mid-fight, though, sets them up nicely to at least perhaps convert a round if they keep it up. Unfortunately for them, Otto lives, gets out to last with his scouts, and is going to be ready to hold with, at the very least here as well. They're trying their best. They only got 2 soldiers in as well to really drive this home. Yak as well as Eon already there as well, and they got to take care of that heavy who's just being tanked up. Corey taking so many heals. They find Sylves in the meantime, turn over for Tyram. Yak gets cleaned up as well, though, and it is falling apart at the seams already. Kayan gets cleaned up as well. They find SNH at the very least as a consolation prize, but it's just not gonna go any further than that.
Yeah, they needed a really quick round here. And the fact they have to slow down, wait, come back in, they don't have time for all waiting for respawners, but they don't really have a choice. They're basically in this position where they have to make a really dumb play.
Yeah,
and
like
hope
a double
it works.
spy, like a soldier and demo off-classing to spy type of play, right? That's what you're saying.
It, yeah. I like it. That's not dumb, actually.
Yeah, the Ubers get exchanged in. They're probably wondering why there's only 3 players in the Uber on the side of Pepis, as now the Ubers are faded and it's pure chaos. Otto has already spotted Yak, and Tyram has also been taken down. So the double spy play didn't do jack. It absolutely did nothing. It was an attempt,
they got
and somehow, some way, they're still winning the fight. I don't even know how this is possible, honestly. Okay, no. Corey wins these. Never mind.
Oh, he does
Eon
win
wins
these. Oh, no. Okay, that one, easy. Type that in chat. You've actually earned it.
You earned that one. Yeah, you earned that easy.
So 3-2. Yeah, I think it might have something to do with the auto taunting after that spy kill. I think that might have lost him that last push. It'll be really funny if they don't get into playoffs because they like lose on rounds or something. Yeah. Oh well.
that honestly, I do agree. Josh just put in chat. That should be worth 2 points on the round score. Winning a round like that should be absolutely worth taking it to a tie. There should be some merit in here. Unfortunately, it isn't. Unfortunately, it's gonna be 3-2, and there you are. That is a lot closer of a map at the very least. They put up a better fight on the side of Pepis this time around, as opposed to getting a bit shellacked on Sunshine, to be honest. So hey, more power to them. They had a chance there, just couldn't quite finish it.
And with that result, sammakot has 6 points, which means that every single team in Prem after week 2 has points. There you go. sammakot was the bottom team. That's
a novelty.
I know. And yeah, so now currently Danish Tyrant Regime is last place. Well, we'll see. They're also playing today, so I'm not sure what the result of that match is, but they have 1 point.
I can tell you right now what the result of that match is, because they were posted about 10 minutes ago. They lost 6-0 to New Panzer.
Oh boy! All right, yeah, New Panzer's looking really strong. Oh yeah, see, they do have full play. Yeah, you're right. He was in the tables the entire time. I just didn't see it.
Yeah, so that's to be expected. To be fair, it's a mixed team of Danish Tyrant Regime. Anyway, what was the current match we were watching? Oh yeah, sammakot and Pepis Pizza Party. Right. Look, good showing out of Pepis. They definitely showed a better performance on Process than they did on Sunshine. They definitely brought it back more. They showed us that they can actually win rounds on merit sometimes.
Yeah, they won most mid fights. So,
Yeah,
so they have
that's
that going
something.
for them. I just want to point out that Otto went 4-7. That's like what I get on Demo Man. You know, he's just doing it on Medic and Prem.
Including the 19 DPM, or
Sometimes I'll put a 0 on that on a good day. Yeah,
all right.
like in front of it, obviously.
Well, I mean, that's just monstrous damage on a Derpy, by the way. And Corey, for that matter.
Corey
look
on
at
both
this.
maps, really high.
Corey really putting the team on his back. So was KN though. KN really trying his damnedest to carry the team as best he could, and some massive picks out of him. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to catapult them forward. Medics once more, surprisingly equal. You'd think a medic with his experience, of his caliber, would be soundly outperforming Eon, but no, it's they're actually pretty equally matched, all things considered.
Yeah, like Ian died less.
Exactly. But he also killed less, so does it really... Like, every medic frag is worth like 3 lives, you know?
Are really important on medic. I will not be elaborating on that.
A medic frag is worth like 3 deaths, right? So
yeah,
it offsets them. So Otto actually died negative times.
Yes, and that's a fact. This is a true fact, and I think we should end the cast with that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all she wrote. It's the second week. Not much to write home about the implications just yet. Although, do I have to say, for Pepis, this was probably one of their best opportunities to grab points. Because I think it's only, I mean, also for sammakot, I think for both of these teams, given the caliber of Prem teams we have currently, it's only going to get harder from here. For both of them, it's only going to really be harder opponents going forward. sammakot still to face off against Danish Tyrant Regime, but looking forward at what both of these teams are going to face, it's going to be trials and tribulations for the next 5 weeks. And then also LAN. I don't know which one of these gamers are actually going to LAN, mind you, but, you know, it's going to be a different story. But yeah, you know, they got the points they could have, and that's it from us for, I believe, this week even. So we're going to be having more games next week, whenever they may want to be played.
Yeah, we've got Mandem versus Skeda next week. It should have been this week, but they've rescheduled it. So there should be even more games next week, and there should be a banger in there. One at the very least.
Interesting. Yeah, that's going to be quite the finals rematch of last season. Very interesting. Well, that's it from us for now, though. So unless you have any closing words.
Yeah, just a shout out to Samus for doing production, obviously, and JMX Chill for organizing everything. And other than that, just great fun casting with you, Sony, and it was good to get updated on ETF2L, see what's going on.